In 2022, I adopted the digital nomad lifestyle. I was freelancing while traveling to Europe, Asia, and America, living with a limited amount of clothing for a year. It was what I thought was the dream life. Lately, I've been reflecting on this again because I quit the lifestyle last year to live in New York, but recently I've been missing it. Missing the travels, missing the chaos, and wondering if I ever made the right decision to settle down. In this vlog, I want to share with you what I learned from being a digital nomad for a year, the drawbacks, and why stability was really what I needed after all. My room is getting natural sunlight now that it is spring, and I fucking love it. It's amazing. But today I'm going to be talking about what I learned from being a digital nomad for a year. I'm going to show you guys a little day in the life in New York, but first, I need to get my workout in. Was literally so much fun. Wow. Honestly, lately I've been reflecting a lot about the digital nomad lifestyle because it has been kind of a year since I took that year and finished. From 2022 2023 I was living that nomad life, and my life is completely different here in New York. I have a full-ass stable life now, which is awesome, but sometimes I feel like I catch myself thinking like, wow, it'd be so cool to be able to be nomadic and just like travel again and do that life. But the grass is always greener. I know that there are pros and cons. So the first major thing is stability. When you're a nomad, you have not much stability. For example, this morning I went to a little workout, and I have a workout routine now, which I didn't have when I was a nomad. I basically barely was able to work out. I would have gym memberships and then cancel them. It was just not consistent. And that is just like one thing. Your home is not consistent, your friendships are not consistent, everything is not consistent, and you have no stability. In my opinion, I feel like it is really hard to progress in your career if you don't have stability. It's hard to build habits, it's hard to be productive. I finally am starting to build my community here in New York, which is super exciting. I'm able to build friendships that are gonna last longer because I'm obviously not moving somewhere. I was living here for like 2 months 2 years ago, and I couldn't really build friendships because I was gonna leave them anyways. And that's the case like when you go anywhere, all of your friendships are kind of temporary, and you don't know when you'll see them again, and it's like really sad. It can be hard to keep in touch with your old friends, I feel like, when you're constantly moving around. They're not on the same wavelength as you're traveling. I found that I was able to bond more with people that was also traveling and like living that lifestyle with me. Other people that are just living consistent lives, it was harder to relate, and I find that it was kind of hard to keep in touch, especially with time zones and stuff. Also, you cannot be in a relationship. That was one thing I was really thinking about when I was traveling. There was no way you can be in a relationship unless you find another nomad. And yeah, ever since I've been in New York, been dating more. I wouldn't say dating in New York is the best, but you know, it's something. There's like a garden here. Okay, so I do have the day off right now. I just came back from Miami, and I do have a full-time job now, which is crazy. So let's go talk about that, because during the nomad era, I was a freelancer, which allowed me to live that lifestyle. So let's go dive into that, and let's go to a different spot. Okay, so when I was doing the nomad thing, I was freelancing, which was very different from being full-time. Freelancing was kind of easier because the schedule wasn't like a 9 to 5. I think being a freelancer was like super inconsistent, first of all. Obviously, like projects pile on at the same time. Like some weeks are super busy and then other weeks are like very chill. That is the life of a freelancer. And obviously your income is also inconsistent. So I think because of how inconsistent that life was, piled on with the fact that I was a nomad, it made things a lot more stressful, and I obviously am in a full-time job right now, and that's a whole nother topic of like full-time versus freelance. One of the reasons why I wanted to settle down as well is because I am like a video girl. I love being on set. I wanted to be able to like have in-person opportunities, and there were like things that were going on in America that I had to say no to, and that was like a whole year of like opportunities that I missed out on. And now being settled down somewhere, I feel like there are things that I can actually go to. I think that is something important to note though. If you're a freelancer, everything's inconsistent. If you're working a 9 to 5, you have time zones to think about. So obviously you can see how all of this was like pretty uncomfortable, because like freelancing was unstable, your lifestyle is unstable, and that is just how it is. It's uncomfortable. You're constantly moving and also not knowing where you're gonna be next. I found that I was like constantly looking for Airbnbs and sublets, trying to figure out what my next move was, and that can also be kind of stressful when you're a type A person, not knowing where you're gonna live in like the next month. And it being uncomfortable can be super fun in the beginning, but I found that being uncomfortable for like longer than a year was just not it for me. Some people are able to do it for a long time, and I respect that for sure. Okay, I just came to the Fidei district. It's literally the most gorgeous day out today. Everyone is basking. The vibes are so good. I really need to get some new clothes, and that brings me to my next point about being a digital nomad. You have to be really minimalistic, and I literally live with like suitcases, and now I'm like, I don't have any summer clothes. I'm definitely like still in the process of rebuilding my wardrobe, because I got rid of so many clothes when I just became a nomad, and I moved to New York with like honestly not that much stuff. Being a nomad, you have to be minimalistic, and it's actually a really good thing to be a minimalistic person, but I do feel the pressure to live up to New York fashion. Being a nomad, you can't really like shop and buy things, so it is fun to have a room and a closet that I can actually like buy stuff or put stuff in. Even though I didn't buy anything just now, there were cool things, and yeah. Drive. It's really nice. I've honestly been kind of just like enjoying this solo day, but let's talk about travel. Obviously, you learn so much when traveling, and you learn about other cultures and different ways of living. I think it's opened up my eyes to realizing that I could live in a different country if I wanted to. Like, I would love to live in Japan. I can totally see how living somewhere abroad could bring me just like a happier life. Like, people in Japan are just so much more kind and respectful, and America is just chaotic and very materialistic, and it's all about capitalism and consumerism, and I literally live in the city of it. There are things I love about America that other countries don't provide, and I don't know, you just learn a lot when you're traveling. I think that's why I love living in New York, because it's such a melting pot. I feel extremely grateful, especially after traveling. Like, that makes you so much more appreciative of what you have back home. I would definitely love to be a nomad again, but like I said, there's pros and cons, and for now I really need New York and the stability, and just like honestly the career opportunities as well, and I am happy here. Alright, so it's actually a few days after I filmed that video, but I did get sick that day, so I don't know if you can tell, my voice is not normal. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. Basically just me trying to convince myself that yes, the nomad lifestyle was super fun, to live in different places, and it was such a vibe. I was traveling so much, but obviously there were pros and cons, and not all of it was super awesome. And for this stage in my life, being static, having a stable routine, and being able to form habits and community and all that stuff is so important to me right now at this very age. And who knows, maybe in the future I will want to be a nomad again, and I can totally see that happening for myself. But right now, at least, I am content with where I'm at. But yeah, I feel like the grass is always greener. You're always gonna want what you can't have, and that's kind of why I made this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next one.